What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and what you're looking at are three cases from a company called Klevercase. Now cases for mobile phones, tablets and e-readers and so on obviously come in all shapes and sizes, but most of them are, pretty nasty $9.99 things on Amazon that you don't really want to wrap around your device. Plus, in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense if you buy a 5, 6, 7, 800 euro tablet or whatever to put a 10 euro case or bumper around it. That just doesn't seem to do justice to the device. Not so much with these though. These are definitely a higher end version of cases. They're made by Klevercase, like I already said, which is part of the Manor bindery in New Forest, England. And they're handmade, personalized cases for a variety of devices that give a very nice sort of vintage book look to your devices. Now that doesn't only look nice, it also is actually pretty functional. Since, for example, with an e-reader, you can imagine it's nice to actually hold a bigger case like a book that gives a bit more of a reading experience. Now these are cases for specific devices. They also do pretty standard things like diaries, stationery and so on. And they also do covers like this for like bigger files, for file management. So you can imagine receipts, documents and so on. Because this just looks so much nicer in your closet than the standard plastic cheap things you get from Staples. So this is definitely a nicer alternative for that. We're gonna go look at them one by one and see what's what. So let's start with the first one. As you can see, this is a blue version of the case specific to the Kindle Voyage e-reader. It's very nicely finished and it really looks like a book from this side. If you put it in, you can imagine putting it on a bookshelf like so. Obviously they have several designs and several colors to suit your taste, mood and personality. But this one is specific to the Kindle Voyage, like I said, which is inside already. I popped it in. There's a dedicated mold here that fits the Kindle Voyage very tightly. It's a bit of a wiggle to get it in, but that's obviously to make sure it is nice and secure. You can see this is not going anywhere. You can see it moves independent from the actual cover. That's because the power button of the Kindle Voyage is on the back, so there's a nice cutout there for the power button. And now it is nice and tight in the mold, and you can still access the power button obviously to activate it. And down on the bottom here there's a little cutout for the power cable as well. So once you put this in, you can leave it in here, no problem, and use your Kindle like you normally would. You still have good access to the buttons here on the side. So because the mold is perfectly designed for the Kindle Voyage, obviously they took that into consideration. And instead of holding the purpose obviously is instead of holding the Kindle by itself, which is not bad to hold obviously, you now have a much nicer exterior of your Kindle. And when you sit around and read this, you can imagine it's much more comfortable to hold since you're holding it like a book, but without the hassle of having to hold pages in place with your thumb. So it is really the best of both worlds when it comes to reading, especially when you want to read in bed or whatever. It's nice. You can still hold it with one hand as well, but you have a bit more material to hold on to. And then it's nice little logo here on the inside, handmade by the Manor bindery in Hampshire, in England. So that's good. Nice, really good case for the Kindle Voyage specifically, like I said, in various colors to suit your own taste. So next up is the My Book Vintage hardback. Now this is just the outside, it's just the case, and it fits 7-inch devices up to 200 by 140 by 20 millimeters to give you a rough idea of how much space there is in here. It has a special feature. It has something they call the Infinity Hold, which is a plastic patch in here that serves, it's not glue, I have to stress that, it isn't made of glue, but it's effectively millions of tiny little suction cups. So it sucks your device in place and keeps it in place quite firmly, but you're still able to remove it. So you're not actually sticking your device to the case and then never able to take it off anymore. It is reusable infinitely, and when it gets dirty you can just clean it with a cloth a little bit and all is well. I will actually demonstrate that with my ginormous Huawei MediaPad 2, which is a 7-inch phone. How that works, you peel off the little protective film here, and all you really do is make sure that the back of your device is clean obviously, is to put it on, apply a bit of pressure, and all is well. As you can see, this is not going anywhere, so job well done. If at some point you decide, because obviously you can't put it in your pocket with this case around it, but then again this phone is so big it doesn't fit in your pocket anyway, so you're most likely to put this in your bag or handbag or whatever, and it looks much nicer this way. But if for some reason you decide you need to take the phone out to do whatever, you just hold down on it and you can hear it unsuck, and there you go. No damage or anything to the back of the phone. The pad is still good and ready for its next use. Now let's put this back in here. As much as I like this case, it is a very good way to cover up your tablet a little bit, protect it a little bit, and make it generally look nicer. There is no added functionality here, so it opens and closes. It looks nice, but that's it. For example, when you want to watch a movie on this, you can't, because it doesn't bend more than this, so you can't sort of prop it up. As you can see, it falls over when you do it like this. So there is no additional functionality here. It is just a case and nothing more, which is fine for some cases, but for people that want a bit more functionality, this is not the case for you. You can imagine when you want to add a keyboard and stuff, obviously it gets much more complicated, much more expensive, which is not the point. This is just to make it look nicer, whatever kind of device you're putting in here. So last but not least, we come to the personalized leather Kindle and e-reader case. This is not specific to any kind of e-reader in particular, but it fits devices up to 180 by 125 millimeters. So that'll probably be most e-readers from Kindle, obviously. Most e-readers from all the big brands, they will fit in here quite nicely. Nice touch. It comes in a very nice box. And actually all the devices that you've seen so far come with a sort of a wrapper with a personalized sign-off for the person who actually checked it last before it went into the mail, which is a very nice touch, I think. I really like the whole theme actually with Klevercase, is that it's all handmade. They're very proud that they produce it locally in England with local materials and local partners. It's a family business, and this is just another nice touch that shows it's not just stamped out by a giant Chinese factory, but it's actually signed off by a person. So it's handwritten and signed, that it's signed off on, which is, I really like that. And I also really like, I've said that in other videos as well, that they're proud they're producing in their own country and proud that they're working with local materials and so on, which I really think is a good thing and makes it sort of the whole experience with these cases a bit more unique and a bit more personalized. Now this case, obviously it says PD here, which are my initials. It's all nice brown leather, it smells good, it feels really good, and it comes with a magnetic clip here on the side, so that snaps in place. And you open it up, and there is the contact points where you put your device in, and then on the side here there's a little extra flap where you can maybe put notes, receipts, or whatever you carry around in there. I'll show you how it works right away as well. Here we have another e-reader. You stuff it in here in these bottom two leather corners, I suppose. They're a bit flexible, so there's a bit of give, so you can wiggle it into place quite nicely. And then on the top there's two elastics here with an additional leather pad that keep it in place very nicely. And again, this doesn't go anywhere once it's in. So any device, like I said, that fits in here will go really well. And you get the same ideas with the case we showed earlier. Reading becomes much nicer. You have the leather around it. It feels a lot better in the hand than just a Kindle by itself. And if you put a small tablet in here, for example, it's a very good workstation. And then you can use the flap as well to keep notes or whatever. The same thing though is with this as with the other case, is that there's no added functionality. You can't prop it up like this or anything. It doesn't really stand like that. So it is just a case and it's just a cover to make the device look nicer. So altogether, what do we make of these three examples of the Klevercase lineup? I really like it actually. I think it's a nice touch, like I said in the beginning of the video, in this sea of cheap Chinese plastic. That there's companies that actually take the time and have the skill to make very nice, personalized in this case, cases for your devices. And I think it's a very nice touch that it's, you know, that they include the hand-signed notes and so on, and spend a lot of time on presentation as well. It just adds to the whole experience of receiving a quality product. And as soon as you get them in the mail, you know, it feels you're happy with your purchase, and that's I think that's a very important thing with buying something like this, because obviously, you know, if you're just buying cheap plastic, you know, fine, there's not much of an experience going on. But with these, yeah, you can almost it's a bit of a fingerspitchen feeling, but you can almost feel the craftsmanship, and you feel you instantly feel good about your purchase, which I think is a very nice feeling to get with the product that you're buying. And the craftsmanship and the attention to detail that they've put into it really shines through in everything what it is. And it's I think it's a very nice touch, a very nice combination rather, in classic style with the modern technology, for example, of the Infinity Hold suction pad. So I think they're doing a great job in combining, you know, traditional craftsmanship with modern technologies for modern devices, and I think that's an awesome combination in this day and age. Thank you, Klevercase, for providing us with the review units. You can check out all the solutions they have in all the different styles they have on their website, of course, and I'm sure there's something there for everybody. And I think if you value your devices and want, you know, something a little extra, something a little more special, then these are definitely something to consider. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!